ReIGN 경기장 도시형.
All right, guys, here we go. It is calm before the storm. No, it's actually not. It is Darkness Falls. I'm sorry. I saw three basic, a little bit confused. But either way, we've got another ZVZ in the lower left part of the map. We have got our red Zerg player from TSL. He is known as RagnaroK. And in the lower right, in the blue, from the Team ReIGN, the last hope for Team ReIGN, it is SLush.
Yes, indeed. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. ReIGN is down to their last player in SLush as they find themselves down 4-1 at the moment. SLush, I think, is a very good and in the foreigner scene, an underrated player because he doesn't play in a lot of the high-profile online events. He just kind of shows up to the big lands and performs admirably each time. Was in champ bracket quite a bit for MLG, stuff like that.
Yep.
So we're going to see what he has to offer now because RagnaroK has been on a tear. That last game was really, really interesting. I think we're in agreement that Gix certainly had his opportunities to win that game. But, so we'll see if SLush can actually take this guy out or if RagnaroK's just going to kill 4 members of ReIGN.
Yeah, we'll have to find out. Both players not really doing a whole lot yet. No early pools or anything. There goes the gas now for SLush, and probably going to see a pool right after that as well. So a little bit of some sort of gas opening from him. Excuse me. Could be a speedling expand. Again, we're going to have to wait and see what he decides to do with the drones on gas. But hatch first again for RagnaroK, and it's a pretty big map, so I'd say that's perfectly reasonable.
Yeah, certainly. I really agree with you, especially because if you look at this, not only is this the natural, but you would, or SLush would have to walk all the way across here, up and around, and then back through to get to the natural. So it actually takes quite a bit, longer to get there.
Not too bad.
All right, let's see here, though. This is a pretty familiar opening, though, as what we saw from Gix. Now, Gix's opening last time was actually really good. He ended up denying RagnaroK's natural, did a lot of damage with the Zergling Baneling composition, and pulled a nice advantage and just wasn't able to win in the long term.
Yeah, for sure. So, reaching 100 gas there, and Zergling speed immediately, but leaves drones on gas. Nope, there he is now taking them off. Okay, so it looks like he probably is going to want to do a fast expand. He does leave some drones on gas, though, so we'll have to see. He could still throw down that Baneling nest.
Yeah, I mean, as we saw out of Gix last time, he did kind of a similar thing where you only mined off of one gas for a little while, or one drone on gas for a while. Looks like he is saving up enough, though, that he's going to drop down that expansion.
Yep. So just wanting to stay a little bit safer as he expands.
Yeah, definitely. And he is going to have 6 Zerglings. Or no, RagnaroK actually coming out with 6 Zerglings right now. We saw Speed come out of SLush, but he's actually not produced anything but a Queen.
Yep, yeah, generally you want to get that Queen first just so you can start doing some injects. He's actually making a second Queen as well before Neelings. That's a little bit more surprising, but with the expand it should be okay. Although, he needs to be really careful. Those Zerglings, if they decide to come across the map, could potentially grab that Queen. We'll have to see. Now there's some Zerglings on the way for SLush, so yeah, he should be able to save it.
Wow, and RagnaroK is just continuing with Zergling production. He's got 8 more coming up after this, so
all right.
Not droning up. He is just going to put on a lot of pressure. We're going to see if SLush can actually hold on, because this could get pretty bad for him.
Yep. Baneling nest on the way there for SLush as well. And, oh, can he save the Queen? It looks like he can.
God save the Queen.
SLush saved the Queen.
Yes. And that Overlord is eventually going to go down, I suppose, because he believes he has enough links back at home to go ahead and do all the damage that he wants. Doesn't even get that drone kill. Very nice. The Overlord went down, but as we knew, there were a lot more links coming out of RagnaroK, but he is just going to stop as he puts up his Baneling nest.
Yeah, RagnaroK just kind of testing the front with a couple links here, making quite a few more just to stay defensive. He does have the Baneling nest on the way, though. So I don't think he's going to have too much trouble holding off whatever SLush decides to send his way.
Not at all. There is a Baneling nest finished up for SLush, though, so it's going to require good control out of RagnaroK once those Banelings actually start morphing in. Looks like there's a Spine Crawler up at the front. That Queen finally retreated back home and then moved immediately up the ramp to prevent links from running into the main.
Yeah, SLush suddenly having to be the defender there. Oh, putting down a Roach Horn as well. All right, so moving into some pretty quick Roaches, but that means he's not going to have a lot of Zerglings, actually. This is a dangerous situation for SLush.
Yeah, it really is. Looks like that Spine Crawler is going to go down here in just a second. More Lings are reinforcing in.
Yeah.
The Spine Crawler did end up getting canceled, and it looks like SLush will eventually move all of those units away.
Yeah, he got that last group of Lings there just in time. That was starting to look a little bit scary there.
All All right, well, let's take a look. +1 missile attacks already coming up for Slush. He has the Baneling Nest just in case he needs to play defensively with it, or did he cancel it at the last second?
The Baneling Nest? Yeah, he did, and he went for the Roach Horn instead.
Yeah, canceled it at the last second. There you go.
Yep. Deciding not to go with that. And that's okay. You don't necessarily need one, but
sure, of course.
You do have to be very confident about your Zergling control if your opponent is going to go for Banelings then. Although if he does get a couple Roaches out too, you can always focus down those Banelings and just kind of keep your Zerglings out of it. And it looks like he does want to go for some sort of +1 Roach timing attack. I've got a feeling, unless he decides to go for like a really quick lair and get more upgrades. We'll have to kind of wait and see, but I've got a feeling he's going to want to get aggressive with this pretty quick.
Yeah, certainly. So looks like here comes one Baneling to save the day, and it kills 2 Lings. That's it.
Yep.
Let's see here, though.
On the way for RagnaroK as well.
Yes, it is, but Slush has already pulled a little bit of a supply lead. He's up in workers, if only slightly, but he is still up in workers, and of course already has that Roach tech well underway with +1 missile attacks.
Yep. And, yeah, so Slush is going to be way ahead. I mean, when it comes to Roach Wars, the upgrades are kind of the key to victory. I mean, Roach numbers are always nice, and obviously if it's skewed much more towards one player, that's going to swing things, even if the player with the smaller amount of Roaches has upgrades. But if it's an even amount of Roaches, that upgrade makes such a huge difference in ZVZ. And I think in like more than a lot of other mirror matchups, the upgrades make a bigger difference in ZVZ than some of the other ones.
Yeah, I see what you're getting at, and I definitely agree with you because, concaves and positioning, because of how slow Roaches deal damage is very important, and those upgrades can come in to play. So 11 more Roaches popping up now for Slush, 6 more coming up for RagnaroK. So we're going to have, it looks like about a 5 Roach advantage for Slush at the moment. Of course, he is going to have that +1 upgrades as well. So once again, we find ourselves in a situation where a Zerg player from ReIGN is pretty far up, and he's got to press RagnaroK now.
Yeah, I like this timing for Slush. I think this could certainly do a lot of damage. RagnaroK does not have a whole lot of Roaches out quite yet. He does have those Zerglings there poised for a counterattack, but I don't know. Things looking pretty good for Slush right now.
All right, we're going to see how much he's going to try and pressure up this ramp, because RagnaroK, the one thing he'll have going for him, though, is a very, very nice position. It looks like Slush has to wait for a little bit, gather the rest of his troops, and then push in after that.
Yeah, we'll have to see what he's doing. Oh, he's actually just going to turn around. Okay. Did see those Lings, and that looks like a lot of Banelings going to Slush's base.
Yes, it is, as a matter of fact. There were 7 that just popped up. We're going to see what Slush can do to hold on here. He's got to send out some Lings, and a couple of Banelings popping right now, but a few are going to make their way into the drones. Wow. Actually, nice job mitigating the damage there. Slush only taking damage on a couple of his drones. Very nice.
Yeah, that worked pretty well, and now Slush getting that lair. His upgrades are going to be so far ahead of RagnaroK's.
Yeah.
And yeah, at this point, because he defended that, he saw the Roaches. He's like, all right, I don't really need to push. You can go ahead and just kind of hang out there a little bit more. I'm going to keep getting ahead in upgrades and maybe push a little bit later now.
And I think this is a good decision too. Take this 3rd. So, so he is going to continue just pushing ahead. As you said, he's on the superior upgrades. He's got Roach speed coming. His opponent hasn't even gone up to the layer, I don't believe. No, not at all.
He's getting his. Oh, okay, never mind. That's Slush getting his 3rd right now.
Oh boy!
He's there.
16 Banelings coming up at the same time now for RagnaroK, in addition to the 2 that are on the field. So 18, actually. So he's going to have 20 Banelings here in a second.
This could be a scary timing here. Slush needs to let that go as long as possible before canceling it. There we go. That was good timing for that. But is he going to be able to get a good enough concave to survive this? The Banelings are actually going to soften up the Roaches really, really well.
Yes, they are.
Oh, man. Those things are scary fast on creep, even without speed. Oh, man. Slush.
Yeah, Baneling's just rolling their way in right now, killing quite a few Roaches. We're going to see if the upgrades are going to make the difference right now. Slush does have the better concave, and it looks like he is actually. Look at those upgrades just proving themselves at the moment. A couple of nice transfusions as well from that Queen, and it looks like Slush is going to have enough to hold here.
Yeah, I think so too. Man, upgrades do make a huge difference. Even with a lot of those Roaches at like half health, Slush manages to hold and does quite well. He's in a position to actually make a pretty effective counterattack too if he wants to.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He's now up by 40. Supply actually increasing to 50 at the moment as he does reinforce with more units as well. GG!
That's all it takes.
So Slush is taking a game back now for ReIGN, and it is now 4-2, moving in to game number 7.
Yeah, man, they really needed that too.
Yes, they really did.